Welcome to Wise Beyond Bitcoin, where you come for the crypto neo news, education, opportunities, and macro updates. My name is Lucas.
My name is Ryan.
And we've got a crypto neo update on one of our favorite ecosystems. And I guess why we say ecosystem, it's the IBC. Spoiler alert. In fact, let me start off with this handy site that we go to. Of course, we will leave all links below. This is educational information. It's entertainment if you're entertained. It's not commercial advice, legal advice, marital advice, medical advice. It's just us sharing our passion for economics, crypto, the developments, and sharing that with you. So, okay, where are we at right now in the IBC? What's so important about the IBC, considering the state of cryptocurrency and blockchain development today in 2022, despite market conditions? There's been an issue with interoperability in bridges. So, what's the
Right.
big deal?
Yes. Well, I think you kind of hit on it is that outside of the IBC, outside of the Cosmos ecosystem that we're looking at right here, the big problem is that those other projects on those other chains, whether it's ETH or Polygon or Solana or whatever, for them to for them to communicate and to interact, you have to build these very unstable, very shaky bridges that often get hacked, have value drained, and it's very cumbersome, and it's not easy so it's very difficult for the investors in one of these blockchains to move their money around and to get into, or their investment or their tokens into other chains, or to make swaps often across chain can be difficult. So because you have wrap tokens that are different from native tokens, and you got to know how to operate wallets, and it's just not seamless, and it's also, like I said earlier, very easy to hack. These complicated bridges are very they have a lot of bugs and vulnerabilities, and opportunities for exploits. So
Which
what we're looking
that's what's
at
happened.
here, and that's what's happened, yeah. So what we're looking at here is an ecosystem where serves as a hub, and the other blockchains that you're looking at have direct connections to each other, not through a bridge or some kind of third party protocol, but directly one to one, because of the fact they share this IBC connection. So what we're looking at is kind of like crypto DeFi 2.0, right? It's when we learn over time, we innovate, we learn what the flaws of the first generation are, and we figured out that, hey, these bridges and these siloed blockchains that limit liquidity and limit the flow of liquidity, that's not good enough, and we need to build interoperability at the foundation, and that's what is going on here.
And one of the things that's so exciting about what's going on here is you see more of these blockchains are popping up. Does this mean that all of these are equally secure? No. Do your research and look at the tokenomics, look at the team behind each blockchain. It means that anyone can create a blockchain using this language that has a function, has a purpose, and can connect directly without that risk of exploits that you get from these other bridges and chains.
Right.
But that being said, these different blockchains they have different utility, different functions. They were built for different purposes. And we're going to get into some of the news happening right now. There's some really exciting. We've talked about this, but although this is the IBC, we're looking at blockchains finding ways to bridge the Ethereum ecosystem in a seamless way to the
Right.
interoperability of the IBC ecosystem. So, okay, we've got these map of zones up. That's what this is all about. We'll leave this link below. Let's kind of get into some of the exciting network on what's happening around the Cosmos ecosystem. Okay, here's one of our favorite blockchains within the IBC, which we continue to stay on top of and keep abreast the updates. Secret Network. Why do we love Secret Network for those who haven't checked
Yeah,
us
well,
out
let's
before?
talk about that. So Secret Network, if you're not familiar, it is the privacy privacy at the foundation smart contract blockchain. It is the layer of in Cosmos IBC world that handles privacy, and not just in a way like Monero, where you can have private tokens, but actual private smart contracts. So what you can do with that is very cool. You can have private file storage like Jackal DAO. You can have private messaging. Alter Mail is an example of protocol that does that. There's private NFTs on secret NFTs, if you will, where there can be private metadata embedded, which makes it to where the owner of the NFT has exclusive access to unlock, whether it's a video or a picture or a background or some alteration of the NFT itself, or it's access to an event. There's all kinds of things that can be embedded. So essentially, it's smart. It's a smart contract blockchain with privacy at the forefront.
Which is a good segue into this news. They're constantly making progress and partnerships, and there's like what you just mentioned, there's a lot of development happening on Secret Network, which is also why we like to cover it, the activity. But they've just partnered up with Injective Labs, which is a DeFi integration between Ethereum and the IBC ecosystem.
Yes.
So this is part of the IBC Bridge initiative between Secret and Injective that has been launched on the Injective Hub. What makes this so wonderful, incredible, is that, we've talked about, or people may have found that there are other DeFi protocols trying to integrate or bridge together, but Secret, as you mentioned before, is the privacy hub. It's the privacy foundation. So to be able to bring that privacy security to DeFi, you can prevent miner extracted value. There's a security, there's a safety there, and it makes it more practical because most people don't like seeing every transaction open to the public when it comes to financial records and other things. So, we'll leave the link for this as well. This is the actual website for Injective.
That's right.
And pretty big partnerships, Binance, Pantera, Mark Cuban, if he's still doing crypto. I don't know how that's working out.
Well, we're seeing more and more integration with these blockchains that are bridging Ethereum to Cosmos, whether it's Axelar or Injective or Kujira, or we can go on. EVMOS is another one that's huge. So this is kind of the next step in blockchain innovation, and it's happening in a bear market. They're one of the greatest, evolutions in technology in crypto thus far is happening right now, and its interoperability. And the funny thing is, it's happening when most eyes are off crypto, not paying attention, because of the fact that, hey, the hype is down, prices are low, everything's in a bear market, the attention's elsewhere. But hey, you should pay attention because there is innovation continuing.
And there's plenty of time to do your research because we'll continue to give macro updates. It's not expected that the Fed's going to pivot tomorrow and we're going to enter into an immediate bull. But like you just mentioned, that's why we do this. So feel free to subscribe, notification bell if you want to follow along, because to prepare yourself for when the markets do turn around, you're going to want to know, having been through these cycles before in crypto, which we have ICO and in different phases, the best time to do your research is during the bear market to find out which projects aren't just fluff, which projects really are attracting developers, really are building when all of the cheap, easy money and credit is gone, who still has capital to work with and is planned out for the long haul. And this is where you can really find those projects to set you up for great success if you're looking to be a part of communities that have potential for rapid growth in this burgeoning.
And speaking
early
of
ecosystem.
Rapid growth, let's check out this next section about this hedge fund. They've done some research. They've crunched some numbers. They've kind of computing various metrics, looking at Atom token, trying to figure out where would it be at, kind of charting a price for the future. They're discounting these future revenues into a present price, and they've come up with they expect that the present price, taking all this information into consideration, should be around $140. And obviously it's far below that. It's it's hovering around 12. It was or maybe it's less now. This article says 10, so oh no, it's 8. That was August 2nd. So yeah, it's around 12. It's north of 12 last I looked. So anyway, still far below that target. And the idea here is that Cosmos according to these people, is heavily undervalued, and that there is potentially a 14-to-1 odds that it will be hit those levels that we're talking about. So it definitely looks like a good buy according to this analysis. And I would add that, and they don't mention this, but there's a lot of stable coins. I think there's at least 4 launching in the near term. Kujira has one, I believe. Obviously,
We're gonna do
Shade
a
is launching
video.
one.
We're gonna
Yeah,
do a
but
stablecoin video on
we
all
will. So we
these.
don't need to get into all
Yeah.
that. But long story short, they're locking up Atom. That's going to create further demand for Atom as for collateral for these coins, and that it should be bullish on its price as well. And that's not mentioned here either. So yeah, it's good to. It's definitely something I would think Atom is a blue chip. And I'm not. This is not financial advice, but in the Cosmos, it's one of the. It seems to be one of the more stable in terms of it doesn't fall as hard as others.
It's
But
the original.
you know,
Atom is
it's
the
yeah,
original. It's the original blockchain that started the
yep,
IBC
the
ecosystem,
hub.
and it's being looked to be a hub for securing other blockchains, interchain
That's
security.
right.
So there is more value to be added to it. That, with all this being said, one of the other things I really like about this article is none of this we give as trading advice. We look for projects, technologies, communities that are long-term value added utility to be a part of these technologies to help them grow, because blockchain is all about decentralized miners, decentralized stakers. It's really a grassroots evolution. So if you find a project that you think is going to add value and bring utility to the world, then you can participate directly with a Web 3.0 wallet and stake and support it and vote. And I love how this is giving a look by 2030. So if you're wondering, just a couple of years ago, people didn't think that institutional investors or people in the market would take crypto seriously. And now you
Right.
have institutional investors saying, well, this is what we think Atom is going to be at in 8 years. So I
Right.
like that. And I like that this is an 8-year projection. So what we're talking about is find a project that you think is going to be around for a long time, and you support it. It's not trading different price changes and volatility that may or may not happen at periods of time. So this is
That's right. It's a much
a nice.
safer, more of the Warren Buffett approach, right? Value investing.
So there's on Atom. Of course, Atom is part of the IBC, and you mentioned EVMOS and some others. I think that pretty much wraps up. We're going to do another video on airdrops. We have airdrops videos. We've got playlist dedicated to airdrops. We'll get there later. But this article also lists some upcoming airdrops. What is an airdrop for people who don't know and are new to blockchain or new to crypto?
An airdrop is essentially some new coins, some new tokens that have just been gifted to you. Just for usually in the IBC, it's for some previous support, whether you've staked a token or held a token or voted on a governance proposal or provided liquidity on Osmosis or on another DEX. These kinds of actions can set you up for future rewards, and they typically come in a way of an airdrop with a future. Say there's a new chain launching, they want to get their tokens into the hands of people who were early supporters of this ecosystem. So they reward people based on various way. They have obviously they can make choices and customize it how they want, and that's the long and short of it. It's a gift.
So if you're a member of these communities like Osmosis or Atom or Juno or Secret, and you stake, you support the community, and you vote once in a while, maybe even provide liquidity, this and that, this or that, you qualify. Many of them have come out and said, we guarantee airdrops are coming for development on our chain. So you'll definitely qualify for future drops of free crypto. It's a great way to diversify and add different blockchains and cryptos just by supporting one community. So that's neat.
And this is a good segue, because Osmosis is
one
of the early airdrops that were given, right, to the IBC, some early IBC adopters, and one of the bigger ones, I think, too. And also it's the blockchain where we have a couple projects that we wanted to highlight just on the way out here.
That's
so
true.
we have Croncat this is a project launching on Osmosis. It will be available to users and people looking to swap on Osmosis later on. It's an on-chain transaction robot, which makes it possible to schedule future tasks in a smart contract environment. So an idea would be you could use it here's an I'll read what's highlighted. You can execute a task just once, or you could have it repeated until some conditions set by the user are met, such as the funds being fully dispersed from a contract via multiple transactions, or it may recur periodically given a certain cadence. So you could automate a DAO payroll this way. There's a lot of things that could be done. You could schedule dollar cost averaging out of a LP pool, right? Sell 5% every 2 weeks or whatever, according to a certain schedule, right? And that would be a way of minimizing exposure to certain risky pools, but still having a play and knowing that you can kind of set it and forget it.
And it saves time, like you said, set it and forget it. We're watching the building blocks of this technology really take legs and get moving. We're allowing people to automate. Instead of you having to come and click the button every 10 days or a few days, you can set it to a calendar, which is how a lot of our technology has developed in Web 2.0 and other areas. So, okay, Osmosis is kind of another OG. As you mentioned, they were an airdrop for Atom stakeholders, and they, as you see here, are leading the volume metric. They tend to be the premium decentralized exchange, DEX, and it's its own blockchain, very unique. And you can see all these connections. That's because every one of these IBC blockchains you can acquire and swap for on Osmosis. And what we're talking about is that Osmosis, just like they've got this Croncat, they have more development. And this is Osmosis, IBC. It's just very exciting to see all of this value added in development continuing to go on with Osmosis and Atom and Secret Network and algorithm, I guess algorithmic. We were talking about this. So if it's algo, it's algorithm, but I like to say algorithm for some reason.
Tomato.
Osmosis, because it's osmosis.
Yeah.
So it could be, but anyway.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it'll be algorithm. Yeah.
Algorithm.
We can put that up for our viewers to figure out, right?
But what we want to know how the project's doing, we could ask them algorithm, So
yeah,
but
what's going on here? Do you want to explain this?
Not so much.
Okay, well, I'll do it then. All right. So algorithm is it's a algorithmic trading bot, essentially, that's going to be launching on Osmosis. So you can use this to create automatic trading strategies where the algorithm buys low and sells high and takes some risk, obviously, right? Now, this is about generating yield. So it's trading, taking risk to earn a profit, and having this risk generated profit essentially the source of the yield. Now, why this is interesting is, well, there's interesting for many reasons, but one of the things that interests me about it is that in DeFi, finding ways to create sustainable yields, it has been a kind of an open question. And there's been various projects that have been looking to do this in the wake of kind of like the Wonderlands and the other yield. I can't think of the term right now, but the ones with those high yield protocols where you'd stake and earn these crazy rates, right? So there's been this realization that, okay, farming LPs and looking for yield through the liquidity provision, it's fine, but it tends to be this crash and burn thing where like the rewards hop from one chain to the next or one protocol to the next, and people chase those rewards. So you kind of get rug pulled often on these things, or you'll be exit liquidity. The entrance will get it, and then you'll be dumped on, and you'll serve as exit liquidity. And so the question is how do we create sustainable yields? And if rewards and inflationary tokenomics haven't worked, and obviously they haven't, then perhaps this sort of this risk generated profit model from AI trading could be that answer. And according to this article, that's what they expected, that these strategies will be the future of DeFi. because they're more sustainable.
So this is a
And
huge, this is a big deal what you just described, because basically the current AMM DEX model, which is thrived throughout Web 3.0 as this new advent, like, wow, look what we can do. But there were still some problems, minor extracted value, other issues. And what there's, and like you just mentioned, how do we create sustainable liquidity? How do we keep
yeah,
people's liquidity in, make it attractive? And
and also sustainable yields on that liquidity, right?
and so what Osmosis is saying, we mentioned earlier, Osmosis is its own blockchain and it's a premium DEX. And so what they're doing is they're saying, hey, for our DEX blockchain, we're going to run this trading bot, and the value that's generated from this trading bot, we will be able to use to reinforce our DEX instead of the current
Right.
model to make it more sustainable. So this could really taking off. They're saying that they recognize that there are risks, but they believe that their parameters are,
Yes.
if can be managed well enough. We believe that with tight enough risk parameters and well managed vault caps, that the strategies will be the future of DeFi, like you mentioned. And this could really set Osmosis apart from other DEXs
Yeah.
that are struggling to maintain, and get them ready to continue to onboard the next generation as IBC continues to develop. This is exciting
Yeah.
news. So a couple
And we
great
did a
developments.
we did a video not too long ago about Osmosis and launching an order book option instead of just having a straight swap. And that's kind of keeping with this, this creating a whole suite of finance products that are better than anything you see on any other DEX that I'm aware of. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
Osmosis has got some cool things going on for sure.
And you'll see more videos if you'd like to on Osmosis and more. We've got airdrops, crypto opportunities, cryptonomics. We've got macro updates where we talk about the actions of the Fed and what's happening in the world at large and how it relates to crypto, secret NFTs, secret network, crypto secrets. So check it out if you'd like to get involved. And we've got a website coming up soon. So if you're looking for some one-on-one tutorial help with anything crypto related, feel free to reach out to us, and we will look forward to helping you in your educational journey. Until the next time, have a beautiful day. Namaste, y'all.